Hey everyone, today we're diving into a crucial topic for professionals and political leaders in Africa: why Africa should focus on China and the Guangzhou Trade Fairs. We're going to explore the opportunities and strategies that make China a key partner for African nations. First off, China is a major economic partner for Africa. Trade between the two exceeds $200 billion a year. That's huge. China is also investing heavily in African infrastructure: roads, ports, railroads, power plants. These investments are transforming the landscape and the economy of the continent. Next, let's talk about financing and massive investments. China offers loans and credit with more flexible terms than traditional Western institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. This is a game changer. Chinese companies are investing significant amounts in key sectors like energy, mining, technology, and agriculture. These investments boost growth and create jobs. There's also technology transfer and industrialization. China is exporting its rapid industrialization model to Africa, which contributes to the development of local industries. Take Ethiopia, for example. Special economic zones are multiplying, stimulating local production, and creating an industrial base. Furthermore, China's approach is based on South-South cooperation. Unlike historical relationships with the West, this approach is perceived as fairer. China also supports African countries on the international stage, particularly at the United Nations. Another key point: the diversification of partners. Strengthening ties with China allows Africa to avoid excessive dependence on former colonial powers and Western financial institutions. This diversification allows African nations to negotiate better terms by playing world powers against each other. Now, let's talk about Guangzhou, also called Canton, a major commercial and industrial center. Several trade fairs are held there each year, offering incredible opportunities. African professionals can find reliable suppliers, negotiate prices directly, discover new technological and industrial trends, and forge partnerships to import or produce goods in China. One of the must-attend events is the Canton Fair, held twice a year. It's the world's largest trade fair, covering all sectors, from electronics to textiles, agriculture, machinery, and medical equipment. Many African entrepreneurs participate to source products or establish industrial collaborations. Other important fairs in Guangzhou include the China International Beauty Expo, the Guangzhou International Auto Exhibition, and the Food and Beverage Trade Show. These events offer specialized opportunities for different sectors. Finally, let's emphasize that the Sino-African relationship is a win-win. China is helping with Africa's industrialization and offers financial facilities to African businesses. This relationship promotes economic diversification, reducing dependence on Western markets. But let's be careful. There are challenges such as the risk of excessive debt to China, quality issues with some Chinese-built infrastructure, and trade imbalances where Africa mainly exports raw materials and imports manufactured goods. There you go. Strategically focusing on China and the Guangzhou Trade Fairs can open up significant opportunities for African nations. We've seen why Africa should focus on China and the trade shows in Guangzhou. Now let's look at a crucial aspect that's reshaping the African continent: Chinese investments in infrastructure. China is investing heavily in African infrastructure, transforming the continent's economic landscape. These investments aren't just numbers on a balance sheet. They're real projects, essential to Africa's economic development. Imagine new roads connecting remote villages to bustling cities, ports opening up new trade routes, railroads crossing entire countries, and power plants providing electricity to millions of people. These are the kinds of transformative projects China is funding and building across Africa. Take, for example, the Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway in Kenya. This project, funded by Chinese loans and built by Chinese companies, has reduced travel time between the two cities from 12 hours to just 4. It's a game changer for businesses and travelers alike. In Nigeria, the Lagos-Kano Rail project is another example. Once completed, this railway line will stretch over 800 miles, boosting trade and connectivity across the country. Ports are another crucial area of investment. The port of Djibouti, expanded with Chinese funding, is now a major logistics hub for East Africa. It serves as a gateway for goods entering and leaving the continent, making trade more efficient and profitable. And it's not just about transportation. China is also investing in energy infrastructure. In Ethiopia, the Jaib 3 dam, built with Chinese support, has significantly increased the national grid's capacity, providing much-needed electricity to homes and industries. These projects are not without challenges. There are concerns about debt sustainability and the quality of some construction. However, the overall impact of these investments on Africa's development trajectory is undeniable. By addressing critical infrastructure gaps, China is helping to lay the foundation for sustainable economic growth in Africa. This cooperation is a win-win, fostering a new era of development and connectivity for the continent. So, while it's essential to approach these partnerships with a balanced perspective, the transformative power of Chinese infrastructure investments in Africa is undeniable. After exploring the transformative impact of Chinese investments in African infrastructure, we'll look at another crucial aspect of this partnership: the flexibility of Chinese loans and credits. Unlike traditional Western financial institutions, China offers loans and credits with more flexible terms. This flexibility is a real game changer for African countries looking to finance their development projects. For many African nations, securing funding for large-scale projects has always been a real headache. Traditional financial institutions often impose very strict conditions, making it difficult to access the funds these countries desperately need. China's approach, on the other hand, is different. Chinese loans often come with lower interest rates, longer repayment periods, and fewer political conditions. As a result, they are more accessible and easier to manage for African nations. Thanks to this, these countries can embark on ambitious projects that stimulate economic growth and improve the quality of life for their citizens. Let's take Ethiopia, for example. The Addis Ababa tramway, the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, was made possible thanks to Chinese funding. This project has not only facilitated transportation in the capital, but has also created jobs and boosted local businesses. In Angola, Chinese loans have enabled the construction of essential infrastructure, such as roads, hospitals, and schools. These projects are essential for rebuilding and modernizing the country after years of conflict. But be careful. It is important to approach these partnerships with caution. While the flexibility of Chinese loans is advantageous, it is absolutely essential to ensure that the borrowed funds are used efficiently and that the debt remains manageable. In conclusion, the flexible terms of Chinese loans and credits offer African countries a unique opportunity to pursue their development goals. This financial support, combined with strategic planning and management, can pave the way for a brighter future for the continent. Thanks for watching. After talking about how flexible Chinese loans and credit are, we're going to look at another really important part of the China-Africa partnership: technology transfer and rapid industrialization. One of the biggest things China is doing in Africa is helping local industries grow. It's not just about building stuff, but also about creating jobs and boosting the economy. Through technology transfer, Chinese companies are bringing advanced technology and know-how to African countries, helping them build and keep their own industries going. Let's look at the Ethiopian textile industry, for example. Thanks to Chinese investments and technology, Ethiopia has quickly become a major center for making textiles. This industry now employs thousands of Ethiopians, giving them steady jobs and a better life. In Nigeria, Chinese companies have played a key role in growing the car industry. By setting up factories and training local workers, they've laid the groundwork for a booming auto sector. This not only means they don't have to import as much, but it also builds up local skills and expertise. But hold on, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Such rapid industrial growth comes with its own set of challenges, like environmental concerns and the need for sustainable practices. It's really important for African and Chinese partners to work together to make sure industrial growth is balanced with protecting the environment and long-term sustainability. To wrap things up, technology transfer and rapid industrialization are key parts of the China-Africa partnership. By developing local industries, creating jobs, and boosting economic growth, this partnership holds a lot of promise for Africa's future. Thanks for watching. After exploring the rapid industrialization and technology transfer in Sino-African cooperation, we're going to look at another crucial aspect of this partnership: The strategic importance of Guangzhou Trade Fairs for African businesses. Guangzhou Trade Fairs like the Canton Fair offer incredible opportunities for African professionals. These aren't just simple exhibitions, they're real dynamic marketplaces where business relationships are created and strengthened. Imagine walking through the lively aisles of the Canton Fair, where thousands of exhibitors showcase their latest products and innovations. For African entrepreneurs, it's a goldmine. They can find reliable suppliers, negotiate competitive prices, discover new trends, and establish valuable business partnerships. Let's take the example of a small Kenyan entrepreneur participating in the fair. By interacting directly with manufacturers, they can get quality products at lower costs, which translates to better profit margins and more competitive prices back home. This direct contact builds trust and ensures a stable supply chain, which is essential for the growth of their business. Moreover, these trade fairs are not just about buying and selling. They are platforms for knowledge exchange. African entrepreneurs can learn about the latest technological advancements, production techniques, and market trends. This knowledge is crucial for staying competitive in a constantly evolving global market. However, participating in these fairs is not without its challenges. Travel costs, the language barrier, and understanding the complexities of international trade can be intimidating. But with good planning and adequate support, these obstacles can be overcome, allowing African businesses to thrive on the world stage. In conclusion, Guangzhou Trade Fairs are an essential element of the Sino-African partnership. They provide African businesses with the tools and opportunities they need to be competitive globally, thus promoting economic growth and development. Thanks for watching. After exploring the strategic importance of the Guangzhou Trade Fairs for African businesses, it's important to address some of the challenges tied to Sino-African relations. While the partnership between China and Africa offers huge opportunities, it also presents certain risks and obstacles that need careful handling for a lasting collaboration. Let's start with the issue of debt. The flexibility of Chinese loans and credit, as we saw earlier, can be a double-edged sword. While these financial arrangements have facilitated many infrastructure projects across Africa, there's a growing concern about the risk of excessive debt. Many African nations have accumulated significant debt to finance these ambitious projects, and without careful financial planning, this could lead to economic instability. Secondly, there are concerns regarding the quality of some infrastructure projects built by Chinese companies. Even though many projects have been successful, there have been cases where the quality of construction has been questioned. This can lead to additional costs for repairs and maintenance, ultimately diminishing the value of the initial investment. Another major challenge is the trade imbalance between China and Africa. While Africa exports raw materials to China, it imports finished goods, resulting in a trade deficit. This imbalance can hinder the growth of local industries and perpetuate economic dependency. Despite these challenges, there are ways to manage and mitigate these risks. African nations need to engage in transparent and strategic negotiations, ensuring that loan terms are sustainable and quality standards are met. Additionally, encouraging local industries and diversifying exports can help balance trade relations and promote economic resilience. In conclusion, while the Sino-African partnership holds great promise, it's crucial to effectively address these challenges. By addressing the issues of debt, quality, and trade imbalances, both regions can work towards a more balanced and sustainable cooperation. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more information on how international partnerships are shaping the future of Africa. See you next time.